Hello, welcome back. This is Kathy from Kathysright.com. I'm here to encourage you and hopefully inspire you to fight the good fight, especially the one coming up in 2020. I'd like to read you something. I didn't write it, but you might recognize it. Oh, make sure you hit the bell over in the corner so that you'll get notified whenever I make a new video, and you can get encouraged every day if you want. 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who were here, gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggle here have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they fought here to have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they here gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain. That this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom. That government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Thousands of men died on that battlefield, Northerners and Southerners. And I don't think they did this so that we could wake up to this and this, and God forbid, this. Maxine Waters. Good God. Thousands of men died. Thousands. Let's see how many. I think I printed it somewhere. But to me, look, a total of 23,049 for the Union. 3,155 dead, 14,529 wounded, 5,365 missing. Confederate casualties were 28,000. Wow. Overall, 3,903 dead, 18,735 injured, and 5,425 missing. More than a third of Lee's army. So, this is why I'm done with Democrats. Because when I see these kinds of numbers and I hear inspirational speech from our president, a Republican president, it just makes me wonder, why are we just giving it away? I mean, we're giving it away. If you want to go with capitalism, it's what works for us best. But if you want to go with socialism and be a part of the world, the global economy and everything global, then what was all of that for? Why did all of these people have to die for you to just give it away? Our freedom is too precious. Our people are too precious. Our traditions are too precious. It is time for us to take this seriously and do something about it. I will not let people who don't appreciate our country and its history take over. I will do everything in my power to fight it. And I encourage you to do the same, because this is your country too. If you're a Democrat and you don't really like this country, you don't like capitalism, you don't like Americans, then get the heck out. We don't need you. Go live somewhere where you think it's better. But you know it's not better, because we're still waiting for you Hollywood types who promised to leave after the election. You never left. Why didn't you leave? I really want to know. Whoopi, you did say it. Oh, and then you go, oh, I never said that. You always say, oh, I never said that. Well, on that show, The View, they lie all the time. You could fact check them. But they're immune. They can lie and nobody calls them on it. You know why nobody calls them on it? PC, political correctness. That's how Obama got away with so much stuff. Nobody wanted to seem like a racist, so he could do whatever he wanted. Give $150 billion to Iran. Really? And we couldn't get $5 billion for a wall? Are you serious? To protect us and our children? Do you know how many drugs come through those porous borders? Do you know? More than we can count. More than will ever be revealed by a census. And a lot of those drugs, it's not just marijuana anymore, because marijuana has been legalized in so many states. It's all kinds of drugs that are destroying our children, getting them addicted. And if we don't care about our own children, nobody else will. Certainly not the Democrats. They claim to care. Oh, they'll always say, kids in cages. What about those poor kids in cages? What about those poor kids in Chicago? What about those poor kids in Detroit? What about those poor people on the street in LA? Kids in cages? Are you kidding me? The cages that Obama built? Seriously. ICE has done DNA testing on these kids and the people that supposedly were their parents. 9 times out of 10, they are not the same people. They're not even related. So they get separated, and then people like that, what's that young girl's name? Not Omar. What's the other one? AOC. When she goes and says, oh, they're drinking out of the toilet. Like, what are you supposed to put them up at Ramada Inn? What do you want us to do? Especially if their DNA doesn't even match. Check yourself, AOC. Really, girl. She needs to go back to bartending. Serious. I'd love to see her bar backing for a while. I'll probably get a stiff drink, but I wouldn't want her to pour it. Let me put it to you that way. But anyways, I'm here to encourage you. I want you to know to fight the good fight. Stay in your faith. Stay faithful to God. I love Jesus. Jesus is my king. And I don't know how I would get through the day without him. I don't know what your tradition is, but I know what works for me. And it's not just like some gimmick. This is over 2,000 years old. So do what you got to do, America. Take heart. Know that you're not alone and there's other people like you. I'm a black Republican. I'm a woman. And it is fun. And you know what? It takes absolutely no balls for a black person to be a Democrat. None whatsoever. Do you know why? Because it's the going thing. It's like you walk into a black restaurant or a black anything, and if you're a Democrat, you're going to fit right in. But if you're a Republican, you're going to be treated like a pariah half the time. So it takes guts to be a Republican. You don't have to have any guts to be a follow-along Democrat. So if it's one thing I could do in this life, it is to get as many people as possible out of that ridiculous party, I will do that. That's a ridiculous party. I don't understand why anybody's for it. I mean, are you for the killing of babies? Are you for what anything goes as far as the border, open borders? People died, thousands of people died, and this was the Civil War. We didn't even talk about World War I, World War II. We were fighting for this country, for our people, for our freedom. And you will not just hand deliver it over, put down a welcome mat, and just have anybody and everybody come on in. Even my 7-year-old grandson can understand this. This is not rocket scientists, people. A rocket scientist could figure out. Well, see, let me say how I explained it to you. I explained it to him this way. I said, what if we're sitting here watching TV and a stranger came in the door? Somebody you didn't know. Just walked in the front door, didn't knock. Just walked through the door, walked into your room and started playing with your toys. You didn't know who he was. You didn't know why they were there. It would be kind of strange, right? Because basically, that's an invasion. But what's the proper way to do things? The proper way is to come to the front door, or better yet, call first. But come to the front door, knock, and get invited in. The way they want it, nobody has to knock. The way the Democrats want it, they can crawl it through the window and the back door, eat all your food, and take advantage of all the freedoms that all those people died for. Aren't you tired of it? All we're asking is that you come through the front door. Be honest and upfront. How can we expect you to follow our rules and enjoy and appreciate our freedoms in our beautiful country if you don't do it the right way? I'm right. I know I'm right. Thanks for joining me. See ya later. Kathysright.com. Check out my blog. Also subscribe. Trust me, I got a lot to say. Thank you. Hope to see you back here soon. Bye.